But first, we're going to start with Tom Brock. He is a Lutheran pastor who has been very open about how much he hates the evangelical Lutheran Church in America because they support homosexuals and they have a very liberal policy toward homosexual pastors.
Well, I don't blame him. I mean, these gays, they're going to be pastors? Come on, get out of here, man. Outrageous. Anybody who's remotely gay should definitely be kicked out of the church.
Well, it turns out that a gay publication known as Lavender did this undercover report where they attended Faith in Action meetings, which are meetings that help make homosexuals straight. Mm-hmm. And Tom Brock attended those meetings.
Of course! Of course! Of course! How many times does it have to happen? Okay, if they are virulently anti-gay, it is a near guarantee that they're gay. And apparently at the meetings, he talked about how he had given into temptation in Eastern Europe on a trip there, but that he was trying to fight temptation daily. Then he goes, and he's got his own cable access show. He's got a TV show. And he comes out, he's like, these gays, kick him out of the church. Temptation, Lavender, boys, Eastern Europe.
This guy is such a clown. I know, every time. And the best part about this story is we have a video of him condemning the evangelical Lutheran Church and saying that a tornado struck in one of their headquarters because of the fact that they have liberal policies toward homosexuals.
We have that?
We have that video.
God bless. Go ahead.
Welcome, everybody. My name's Pastor Tom Brock. I'm senior pastor at Hope Lutheran Church here in Minneapolis. My congregation has left the evangelical Lutheran Church in America. And this last week, as you heard in the news, rather amazing things happened here in Minneapolis. Last Wednesday, the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America had their national convention in Minneapolis at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on last Wednesday. They were scheduled to start debate on their new sex statement that affirms homosexual relationships. At 2 o'clock on Wednesday, out of nowhere, a tornado came to downtown Minneapolis. No meteorologist predicted this. It was in the news that this came out of nowhere. And the tornado ripped part of the roof off of the convention center right when they were scheduled to start debating this issue. The church across the street, Central Lutheran Church, the tornado tore the cross down from the top of the steeple. This is Central Lutheran Church that was hosting the homosexual lobby's worship services during the week. The tornado also tore up the tents that were set up on Central Lutheran's lawn to serve beer to the convention goers. Well, I think there's a God. And now you probably heard what happened. Well, in spite of the tornado, they went ahead and had the vote. They voted in favor of the new sex statement that affirms homosexual, loving, committed homosexual relationships. And do you know by what percentage it passed? 66.6%. Hello. So we're doing this video just to let you know why we left the ELC and why we...
I love that part. 6.66%, whatever it was. Hello? Hello? Anybody get a clue? And he's like, despite the tornado, they still voted that way. Can you believe they didn't see the obvious sign that God was giving them through the weather? You know, since he's gay, like he's scared to death of stuff like this. Mm-hmm. He thinks God is, does retribution. And so he's thinking in his head, like, when he goes and there's like a thunderstorm, it's his fault.
I know.
He's like, oh my God, I'm sorry, God, you figured out I was gay and you sent the rain. Like when there's a blizzard, he's beside himself for what he's caused with his gayness.
It's such a sad life to live.
Oh, it's pathetic.
And interestingly enough, you would think he's going to lose his position as a pastor, right? Well, it turns out that he's not going to because church officials said that he did exactly what he was supposed to do as soon as he felt those homosexual urges. He went and sought help.
In Eastern Europe with boys.